And this is Court Cam. First, we go to the Hamilton County Common Pleas Court in Cincinnati, Ohio. Standing in the hallway outside the courtroom is Cassandra Jackson. She's here today seeking a protection order, often sought by domestic violence victims. Unfortunately, a court official is telling her that she missed the deadline and will have to come back. Jackson, a working mother, grows increasingly frustrated. The argument's loud enough to be heard in the nearby courtroom. So loud that Magistrate Judge Michael Bachman, who's presiding in the courtroom on the other side of these doors, could not hear an attorney question a witness. Jackson continues to plead her case to the man in the hallway, but is denied. Jackson continues arguing before finally storming off. But Judge Bachman is unsatisfied and takes matters into his own hands. About 10 seconds after Jackson walks away, Bachman leaves the bench, chasing her down the hall. He catches up to Jackson at the elevators and orders her back to his courtroom. What happens next is critical to the eventual outcome of this story. As they head toward the court, Jackson tries to turn down the hallway. That's when Bachman grabs Jackson's shoulder. Even as they enter the courtroom, Bachman still does not remove his hand. Keep in mind, Jackson's in court today to file for a restraining order to protect herself and her children from an allegedly abusive relationship. Bachman orders Jackson into the jury box, then tells her she's about to be arrested for contempt of court. But the insensitive treatment continues from the rest of the court staff. 2 officers are brought in, and Jackson attempts to flee. Additional help's required to restrain Jackson. She resists. Was eventually removed from the court in handcuffs. The situation is taken to another level when Jackson's dragged to booking where formal charges are made. Officers handcuff Jackson to a chair as she continues to resist. After struggling with officers one more time, Jackson's strapped into a special chair and wheeled into holding. She'll serve 2 days of a 10-day sentence after the presiding judge dropped the contempt charge and the rest of her sentence for good cause. After the footage goes public of Bachman chasing after Jackson and putting his hand on her, Jackson files a civil suit against Bachman, and the magistrate's told he must either resign or be fired.
Oh, I should have did that. A civil
Bachman
suit.
chose to resign.
I can do that
If Bachman
still.
needs to enter a Hamilton County courthouse in the future, he must now do so as a private citizen.
Against you.
Next, we head over to the Miami-Dade Bond Court of Judge Mindy S. Glazer. Today, Judge Glazer is presiding over a hearing for 21-year-old Alon Glenn.
Sir, good morning. You have a warrant from Georgia. It says for fraud, a charge of fraud.
Glenn, who was in South Florida for a cruise, was picked up on an arrest warrant from his home state of Georgia. He now faces extradition.
There's no way I can get a bond in?
Unless you, the only thing you can do is have a lawyer contact the judge in Georgia to see if there's a way to schedule one.
Okay, so will I be able to do that?
You can call a lawyer. Call whoever you want from the jail.
Having passed on the information Glenn needs to potentially get out on bond, Judge Glazer notices an interesting detail about his case.
He was picked up at the cruise. What were you on, the Breeze?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Isn't that cool? Was it a nice cruise? I'm glad to be back to work. I had to watch 4 kids. And
You was on a cruise this weekend that just passed?
yeah.
Oh, you didn't see me dancing? I was on
You were dancing. I was sitting upstairs. Time, huh?
Yes.
You were in a contest by the pool now, were you? No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I definitely was.
All right. I'm sorry you have to go through this, sir.
Judge Glazer seemingly appears to side with his request for bond, citing him as a non-flight risk.
I mean, if he wanted to flee, he could have fled in, what was it, St. Martin, St. Kitts?
You feel me? I don't want to run away.
With their cruise ship flashback all but over, he has 2 options.
You can waive extradition, agree to be sent back to the state of Georgia within 15 days. If they don't come pick you up, you'll be released. You can also contest extradition and fight going back. If you contest extradition, you can be held in our jails for up to 90 days. They gonna waive?
If I don't wait, I have to wait for the 15 days?
No, you have to wait 90 days.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting.